what's up you guys, it's Kev and I thought I'd make a video today, like something a little bit different to what I normally do, but I thought that this was still like really worth talking about since it like greatly kind of impacted the way I live every day. So I'm just gonna get right into it and say, like I used to be a big like energy drink kind of junkie, and so I would have one like every single day, maybe one or two. So it wouldn't matter like if it was Red Bull or Monster or like you get different brands, like the really like knockoff kind of brands and stuff like that. I would, try them all. And because I was like trying to be healthy, I would always have like the sugar-free option or something like that. So I was always like having like Red Bull Zero or like the sugar-free version of like these kind of energy drinks. And I thought because I was doing that, like I was being healthy. So, when I like initially like went on a plan to lose weight and stuff like that, they told me like if you're gonna have soda, like make sure it's zero. And I still I still know that's like not 100% healthy in a sense that it's still soda, you're still drinking like artificial sweeteners, but the calorie intake is like almost nothing. And so like that was like my like biggest thing, because I was like, okay, well, I don't want to have any extra calories, like I don't want to drink my calories. I'm just going to stick to zeros. And that's exactly what I did with all of these energy drinks that I was consuming. So like I said too, I was having like 2 or 3 a day, like max 3. I would normally like have one in the morning, probably around like 9 or 10. And then I would also I would continue to have one maybe at lunchtime or something like that. And then, sometimes like in the afternoon, if I was really like down, I would have another one. And by that time, like I think I was like getting jittery and stuff because I was having so much of the stuff. And like I would have one and I would crash, and I would have one and I would crash, and like my energy level was just like a weird wavelength of like, what the hell is going on? So what happened, and like how I figured what the stuff was really doing to me, I ended up like getting really sick. Like you guys know that I've had trouble with like Hashimoto's and my thyroid, and if you go back in my videos, like you can see me talking about it. But what happened was my doctor ended up doing a cortisol test. So if you don't know what that is, that's like you spit into like mini, like tiny little test tubes in the morning, at lunchtime, and at nighttime right before you go to bed. And this is supposed to like kind of estimate and like calculate how your cortisol levels are, like if they're healthy, like if they're spiking or dropping too fast. I'm not really an expert in explaining it, but like I think you get the gist of the idea. So I had the test done, and my cortisol levels were like really out of sync. I would start off normally in the day, like that would be fine, and then by nighttime they would drop dramatically. Sorry about that. So they would drop dramatically, and it would be like I could feel it. And like to see it on a graph is weird, because like to see how your body plays out during the day on a piece of paper is scarily like accurate and weird at the same time. So I kind of like really related to what that test was saying, and how it like showed me how my body was like playing out and what I was doing. So when the lady diagnosed me with like adrenal fatigue, she said to me like it wouldn't be a long thing, recovering, but I would have to stay away from all caffeinated drinks, especially energy drinks. And just a bunch of like other foods, like trying to avoid this food, that food. I'm not going to talk about that now because this isn't the point of the video. So I did that, and so I knew that my energy drink kind of addiction, you would say, was gonna be a tough one to give up, because what else do I drink? Like I only drink energy drinks or water, or sometimes like zero sodas. So I was already like a bit like not apprehensive, but like I was uneasy, because I was gonna be giving up things that I wouldn't say I enjoyed drinking them, but I think because I was so limited to the fact that I wasn't having like any sugary drinks, I would have a energy drink, and that would kind of like substitute the feeling for me of having like a Coke with sugar, or like any kind of soda that you would normally have. So what I did initially was I was like, okay, well, I can't do this anymore, obviously, and I'm gonna have to stop right away. So I was just like, okay, every time I feel like, having a Red Bull or something, I'm gonna have a glass of water with lemon instead. And like, it wasn't the best substitute, but I was like forcing myself to kind of replace it with something, maybe to like retrain my mind, or I don't even know. And I can tell you now, it didn't really work that well, but to kind of like replace that feeling with something else, I think is kind of a good suggestion at least. So I took it along with that, and then um, what happened after that was my I started getting really really tired. So I was like on a crash of a note for about a week after I stopped drinking them. I was on a complete crash. Like that whole 1 to 2 weeks was misery for me because I woke up tired. I went to bed extremely tired. Like the sleep was amazing because I would go to bed like really early, wake up kind of late, and like I would sleep right through. It was like dead sleep, and I would wake up tired though. And the whole thing was like the whole day I was tired, which wasn't that great, unfortunately. So after like that initial like week or two of like headaches and I don't know, it kind of felt like a bit of a detoxification process. I was like feeling a little bit better, but obviously, it's still kind of hard when you're used to I don't know, when you're used to I don't know, even like carbs. Like if you eat carbs all the time and then you have to deprive yourself of carbs, it feels like the same thing. Like you're depriving yourself of something. And that's pretty much how I felt. So for me, I was feeling like I was really missing something. I really did feel it, but I was feeling better as well. And I was like, I really had to sit down with myself for a second and say, you know what, you gotta weigh up the options. Like either you're gonna, be ruining your adrenal system with like these products that you don't even need, or you're just gonna start drinking it again, like still feel like shit, and just not you know heal properly. So it was like a real like battle for me in terms of like accepting that I'm not going to be drinking these things again. Drink more water, like everybody says that, like tag a friend and remind them to stay hydrated. um, like that's the real thing. Like you just have to stick with your water, stick with your freshly pressed juices. Sometimes I do that. For me, juices aren't really my favorite thing. I just don't really like fruit juice that much. So I stick with my water, and I will, have a zero soda every day, which I'm trying to slow down as well. Um, but Rome wasn't built in a day, so that's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, so as the process continued, like my skin started clearing up really nicely, as where I used to get a lot of pimples, like on the sides of my face and like on my neck area. And I mean, my skin isn't perfect, like let's be honest, but it's a lot better than when I was drinking those every single day. Like I calculated that I probably spent about 150 Rand a week on these drinks, which is a lot of money. If you look at that, it's like 600 Rand a month. That's like pretty much a tank and a half of petrol for my car. So money wise, I was saving a lot. I am saving a lot right now. And yeah, so as I continued to go on, like my adrenal levels actually came, to a really good kind of level. And I haven't retested in a while, but the last time I retested was about a month or two ago, and they kind of had just, gotten back to a normal state. And it wasn't like a fantastic, like, you're completely healed, but, they had just reached that level where it was like, okay, we're comfortable. And I can feel it now. Like, I can tell you that, my energy levels aren't over the roof. I'm not, like, ready to run a marathon. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that I feel like I could, do backflips and, do all these things, but I do feel in terms of like my energy, spikes, they have like kind of evened out, and I kind of feel normal and at one kind of energy level throughout the day, which is a lot better than being all over the place. Like, that's just, how I feel about that. I didn't really enjoy, like, waking up kind of energetic, and then here by, lunchtime, I was really suffering. So it's one of the things for me that I can say that has really improved the most is my energy level and the stability of my energy level, along with, like, my face clearing up. And yeah, and that's it, guys. Like, I know this is a bit of a random video, but I just wanted to talk to you and tell you, like, this was my experience with, quitting energy drinks, and why you should maybe look into it as well, because I know there's a lot of my friends still have them, and I still, I enjoy the thought of them more than I realized what they were doing to my body. And yeah, if I were you, I would consider at least, doing a challenge, like a 1 week no energy drink challenge, 1 week no soda challenge. Like, just try and stick to your waters. Have like diet soda. I know it's still unhealthy for you, but like, it's better than sugar, in a sense. I'm actually, like, there's probably no actual, leveling to say like which is better, but I'm telling you, at least try and get some of that out of your life to make yourself feel better. Because if it can reflect on a test that, my adrenals were like here, and then they kind of evened out, then it really does mean that, what you're putting in your body must kind of affect what's going on. And like, this is a prime example of me that I've learned, that I really, really do need to, like, look at what I'm putting in my body. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this really random video. I know I don't really do stuff like this on my channel, but like, I really wanted to talk to you guys and just, I don't know, maybe get other people's perspectives on it, like if they've ever, had experience. My dog is right here outside in front of my window. Okay, guys, I love you lots. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, a random chat video, just hit subscribe. I'm making new videos every week, and I'd love to keep up with you guys and hear your thoughts and stuff. So yeah, I'll chat to you soon.